What actually is a hoe phase?
18 to 28 years old.
But what qualifies it as a hoe phase? Because
It's let's be promiscuous.
so what does that actually look
Basically.
like? Like what's the body count on that? Does that mean she sleeps with somebody on the first date?
More
Does
than
that mean
six.
like more than six a year or
More than
like
six. Well, okay. So I've done these shows
or
with Myron and Fresh.
because I'm just curious,
Don't
like
pull over.
what actually is a hoe phase, and would the same rules apply to a guy?
Hell no, that wouldn't apply to a guy.
All right, now stop.
Hell
stop.
no,
That's
woman.
really
Hold
the
on.
question.
Wait. Stop.
That's not even
Hold
a
on.
question.
Stop in your tracks
That's
right now.
not fair.
I'm gonna call out something you just
yeah,
did.
it's not fair.
And you've been doing this entire conversation. Every time we bring out a point about like a hoe face for women,
Yeah.
it's like, well, what about guys? Okay. Stop. You need to dissociate yourself from like, okay, men and women are different. So the idea that what's good for the goose is good for the gander, if there's like, if it's good for guys, it must be good for women. Throw that out of your mind right now, because men and women are biologically, physiologically, neurologically, psychologically different from one another.
So all this time was spent giving it up and doing all this shit and having fun, and I had my fun, and I went to Ibiza, and I went to Tulum, and I went to the Bahamas, and I went to England, and I went to Scotland, and I went to Ireland, and I went to Germany, and I went all these places, and I had my fun. My 20s are gone now. Now it's time to settle down, right? Now somebody needs to step up. Where's the guy that I was promised? I did all these things I was supposed to do. I went to school. I got an education. I traveled the world. I got a lot of experience in the bedroom. Career now. I've done all this. Where's my guy? Where's Prince Charming that's supposed to be waiting at the finish line for me? Where's he at? Ladies, men and women are different. You live your life like a man. Men aren't going to be attracted to that. You act masculine, you do masculine things, chase the career, chase the bag, go travel, do this and that and the other. Men are going to see that as, well, you say it's experience and education and you make a lot of money. Men are going to see that as headache, she's got a high body count, combative, masculine energy is going to, I don't want to, it's all the above. Men are, I'm good. I'm good. I want a feminine woman who wants to be in her feminine, and she wants to compliment me. She doesn't want to complicate my life. She wants to compliment my life. I don't want to come home and deal with bullshit. I want peace and quiet. I want to come home and I want to relax. You want to relax with me? Cool, let's relax. Let's definitely have some sex. Okay? Let's definitely have some sex and let's relax. If women understood this at a different level, that we're never going to understand each other 100%. We're not. It's just not going to happen. We are wired completely different. Men and women will never be the same. We're never going to be equal, and we were never going to be the same. We are wired differently from head to toe. Internals, externals, everything. So what you find attractive, men don't. What you find sexy, men don't. What you are into, men usually aren't. You know, I'll hear these women say, oh, well, I could be feminine for the right guy. The fuck does that mean? For the right guy? It's either you're feminine or you're not, ladies. It's like Myron Gaines says, he had a great quote, and he said, when women say, I could be feminine for the right guy, he's like, okay, well, how about this? If I completely masculine and do my thing, this and that, but, once a week, every Sunday, I want to walk around and I want to wear heels. But every other day of the week, I'm totally masculine. I go to the gym, I pay my bills, I pay for you, we do this, that, the other. But on Sundays, I just want to wear some heels. Think about that for a second. So he could turn off his masculinity when he wants to? No. Just like femininity, you don't turn it off when you want to. You're either a masculine woman or you're a feminine woman. You don't get to decide when to turn it off or on. You're one or the other. Now, by and large, when women adopt these masculine traits by going into the career fields, climbing the corporate ladder of male-dominated fields, you're going to inherently become masculine because it takes masculinity to do that. And then women get themselves into this conundrum of, well, how do I tap into my femininity? And like Rollo Tomassi says, oh, well, you're going to have to get more in touch with your feminine. And women take that as, oh, well, what I got to do, dumb myself down now? Well, first of all, why do you see femininity as dumb? Why is that? Ask yourself these questions. Why is it dumb? It's not dumb. Femininity is divine beauty. It's you guys are the incubators to the next generation of life. It should be praised. But we've taught women to not have kids, to go chase the career, college, the bag, travel the world, rack up body counts, date the bad boys, this boy, that boy, the foam cannon party in Ibiza and Cancun, quoting from my man Rollo Tomassi. Women think that this is the way to live because they've been taught that. This is the biggest psyop in the history of the world. You've actively taught women to not want to be wives, to not want to be mothers. And that is probably the greatest job, the greatest experience that you will probably ever experience. And I don't know from experience, I don't have any kids myself. I'm not a female, obviously, myself, but from what I understand and everything that every woman I've ever talked to, they all find their purpose in their family, in their nest, their tribe, their community, their kids. And you don't want to end up like my ex-girlfriend, who at that time she was in her early 40s, and we're driving on this road trip one time, and she's looking out the window. We're on this great road trip, and going a few hours from home, and we were going to be gone for the weekend, staying at a hotel. She had a little bit of work to do, I had a little bit of work to do, but we still made time to go out and do some fun stuff too. We're sitting there driving, and she's looking out the window, gazing out there, and I noticed she was quiet for quite a while. I look over, and all of a sudden I see her, she's crying. I'm like, babe, what's wrong? And she starts crying, and I'm like, okay, I'm consoling her. And she goes on this tangent of how she feels like she missed out on a whole chapter of life. What do you think that chapter is that she's referring to? Babies. It's a family. She came to that realization, I think, around that time, that it's probably too late. And, it's not too late for everybody at that age, but it becomes more and more, the older you get, the more dangerous that it becomes, and the more problems that can arise, and the more problems that the child may have. So, ladies, it's just one of those things where you don't want to be in that position where it's too late. And now you're never going to have a family of your own. That's something I could never really imagine. I'm in a fortunate position to where, being a man, I can make babies for a while. And, men and women are on two different trajectories. So I'm not worried about it, and I'm not trying to compare myself to it. But I am saying that I see a lot of missed opportunities from today's culture. Not just women, men too, but especially women. They think that their beauty is evergreen. They think that this fertility is going to last forever. I think they're going to be that 25-year-old hot gym girl with a great ass and tits for the rest of their lives. And, as the age-old saying goes, nothing lasts forever.